kind of dark in here right now. Whoa. Guess I should have done that before I turned the camera on, right? Jesus fucking Christ, how easy to get these things together. God damn, son of a bitch. Hold on. Fuck. Yeah, that's no good. 1 second. Remember I used to edit videos? What was I trying to flash my entire fucking physique at you? Zeke the plumber? Anybody? Damn, I use this fucking shit to get a stain out of the carpet. Not looking so good right now. Maybe I didn't blot it enough. Anyhow, it's not what I'm here to talk about, is it? No, sir. Gotta tell you real quick. Plainclothes Naked, Jerry Stahl. Quickly becoming one of my favorite writers. Even though I read Permanent Midnight and tried to read Happy Mutant Baby Pills, and it didn't work for me. Oh, Jesus. Let me get the angle. I'm just feeling fat. It's like, oh, I'm fat. I look like I'm on fucking crack right now. What's the lighting? Do I need the light right in my fucking face? Okay. Jesus, I got some overhead lighting. God. Oh, I'm talking all quiet. It's late. 8:13. Not that late. What? Not that late. What's that voice? All right, I got it nice and bright in here. Perhaps too bright. All right. What? And cut. See, I can't even do it with any fucking gusto right now. Look, let's get real for a second. This is a special night, okay? Very special night to celebrate. It's not a holiday. It's a special night. You know why? Damn, I can't set this motherfucker where I need to. Why is it a special night? Because I finished working on my album tonight. Yes, the album I've been working on for a year. An actual solid year. Yeah, maybe I should have put a shirt on. I'm getting self-conscious. Even though it was chest day, I should feel all right. I feel like this camera's just making me looking like just fat no matter what. Can anybody say insecurity? All right, I'll fucking relax now. I'll just do this. All right. So here's the fucking deal, okay? The shadow. I have to sit up like I got a facelift. Yeah, I'll do it from this angle. Look how skinny I am. It's an illusion. Oh, Jesus. Now I'm sitting down like this. All right. Enough fuckery. We're getting this angle from now on, all right? I don't give a shit. Need to fucking rest this goddamn thing somewhere is what I need. Finished working on my album, all right? It's called It's All Ending. Now I'm sideways, right? It's called It's All Ending. Been working on the bastard for a year. What does that mean? Have I been every day going into the studio? Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Hi, singing into the microphone. No, I haven't. That means I wrote the songs first. Every day. Every day. All right, there were some exceptions, but basically every day. I wrote 18 songs. All right? Actually 19. I wrote 19 songs, and I was like, I need to pick the 10 best. But that's not what happened. I wrote 18 songs, and I wanted to pick the 10 best. And then I wrote an instrumental in that order. It's called It's All Ending. I already said that. Is that interesting? The name of the album? No. What's interesting is that, hey, maybe it's not interesting. Maybe you turned the video off already. All right, here's the fucking score, okay? I'm celebrating. You'll notice no one else in here, right? Celebrating by myself. All alone. It's funny. You know what's funny about saying all alone? There's a song, you know West Indian Girl? Probably you don't. They never really hit it big. They had more success than I've ever had, other than Corpse Smoke. But they have their first album. It has like 4 to 5 incredible songs, like all-timers on it. It's just called self-titled West Indian Girl. The album after that, like they didn't put out anything forever, and then they put out a new one. It's also got some really good shit on it. I would say another 3 to 4 incredible tracks. It's a guy, Robert James, formerly Robert Shergan, I think was his name, from Perplexa. It's a Michigan band. I know I'm talking about something different here, but this is interesting. Stay with me. And if you already know this story, then I guess skip it. But I think Chris Kubert, yeah, this will let me find out. Chris Kubert, if you're watching this video, the password is butterfly. You tell me the password is butterfly, I'll know that you actually watched that. I don't hear from you. I don't hear the password is butterfly. I'm gonna assume you didn't watch it, bud. So anyhow, West Indian Girl. I did my Porno for Pyros Peter DiStefano interview, right? It was great. Coolest day of my life still. And actually, I still got to put up this video of us playing, because that was even fucking cooler. So I'm doing these interviews. I like doing them, okay? I think I'm pretty good at them, okay? There's a lot of bad, not that that's a fucking immensely unique skill, but there's a lot of bad interviewers out there. It is a skill. I like to do it. I get a lot out of it, okay? And I get a pretty cool, people just tend to like it, okay? People like these interviews. So I'm going to do one with West Indian Girl. I want to profile them. Nobody's ever really profiled them because they never really hit it too big. Again, they were on Astroworks, which is like a dream of mine. They had a licensing. They had a big hit called What Are You Afraid Of? Anyhow, long story short, I'm talking to them, specifically talking to the bass player, Francis 10. And we're talking, he's excited about it, I'm excited about it. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know why I started getting treated like a journalist. I just farted. I don't know if he looked up something about me. There's a good possibility he just looked something up about me, saw it, and was like, no way. Which that could be 20 different things you look up about me and decide that I'm not worthy of your time, or that you're afraid something bad's gonna happen if I do the interview with you, right? So we're trying to get set up to do it. And he switches from excited, talking about his old bands and talking about how great it's going to be. He switches from that to this mode of, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm coming to LA like in a few days. You want to do this? Call me tomorrow and we'll talk. Okay. Call him tomorrow. No answer. Leave him a voicemail. No response. An immediate change. Anyhow, I guess sorry for a long story, but it's kind of funny. I haven't really listened to them since. It's kind of fucking... It's kind of, this is a horrible angle. Let's do this for a second. Who cares? It's kind of wrecked their music for me, which is terrible because they were one of my favorite things. I'll come back around. And you know what, for the record, I really wanted to interview both of them, and I was planning to eventually interview both of them. That's Francis 10 and Robert James. In my mind, Robert James is the fucking brainchild of the band anyhow. And Francis 10 is... the supportive partner. Doesn't matter, he's still an integral part of that band, and that band is fucking great, man. At least they were. So anyhow, Jesus Christ, long story that you didn't even care about, right? Interview that never happened that I was bummed about. And also angry. I like, this angle's funny. It makes it look like my traps are crazy, right? Fucking ridiculous. I just can't get comfortable today. So let's finish this. I guess I thought I had a lot to say about my record. You know what the trouble is? I already wrote about it. You know what? Why am I even making a video where I try to say something unique? Why don't I just read to you what I wrote in my journal? Won't that pretty much sum it up? Nah. I think so. All right, first of all, I haven't written since, and that's in a journal. I write in a journal, like Doug Funny. You ever watch that video where the guy who makes the Doug music is performing live? It's fucking awesome. July 20th, June, July, August. So a month and 2 months. Haven't written in 2 months. All right. You know why? Because I've been busy trying to finish this goddamned album. Let's see what I wrote, okay? This is like, I didn't even think I was going to make a video. I was just like, this is a special night that I'm celebrating with no one, because I have no one here. Fucking hair looks stupid as shit. I look like shit right now. Sorry. So I was like, let me celebrate this special night. It's been a year. You got to remember that, a year. I've been working on this motherfucker for a year. Let me get back to that for a second before I read you what's in my journal. So I was talking about that process, right? So first I'm writing these songs. I pick the ones that I'm actually, what does that mean, by the way? Is it like acoustic guitar demos? No. In fact, the demos are pretty developed, and I'm going to release them. I'm going to just call this like songs that didn't make my new album. Do I need a facelift? Okay, enough of that. So I got my songs down, and then from there, I start going into the real process of like recording stuff, which in most cases means re-recording like real vocals, really paying attention to a lot of attention to detail when I'm recording bass, guitar, finishing the songs. They're not demos anymore, even though, again, if you heard the demos, you'd be like, sounds finished to me. But you wouldn't think that if you heard it up against the finished product, okay? So, and then once that writing process, that takes a long time. I'll tell you what, writing lyrics, good Lord, that's a challenging process. Writing the songs, and there's scraps of stuff that never even got turned into like a finished demo too, but which again, I'm going to release it all just so you can hear it. But, and then I'm recording them, I'm working on them, I'm singing them, I got sick, I'm living, and it just took a long time. But I would say the writing took the longest time. And I'm tuning the vocals, I'm working on the guitar parts, the drums, the this, the that. So it has been a true motherfucker, and it's done today. So you're celebrating with me. You're here watching this video. Are you still watching the video? Celebrating the fact that I'm done working on my album, and it's going to be a double vinyl, which is the first time ever. But I can't, you work on something for a year and then all of a sudden you're done. And when I say work on something for a year, I do mean like every day, as much free time as I can devote to doing creative things. That's where my time went. Yes, I made part of the family during this time. Yes, I make my videos, but the true creative aim that I've been lasered in on for a long time is finishing this album. So it's done, and so naturally I get a little bit reflective. So I'm like, and I now have time to write my journal and write, and I'm going to go ahead and just read it to you, okay? 9/10/2021. Album finished. It's the title. It says album finished up there. Mind you, it's not mixed and mastered, but my part is done. The songs are written, recorded, edited, produced, finished. It's been a fucking year. A year. I sincerely hope that it's as good as I thought it was. Funny, it's about loneliness, isolation, and depression. And here I am, sitting alone. No one around, other than my precious cats, my beloved. I have so fully devoted myself to this album that I now expect a void. I almost can't believe it's done. I wonder how it stacks up to the other previous works. I feel deeply that my recorded albums are a very personal statement and a record, not just of my musical ideas, but an actual journal of my life, where I lived, what I did, who I spent time with, what I thought about, how I felt, my fears, hopes, dreams, and wishes. I paid for Instruments of Pain, that's the mixing. I paid for Instruments of Pain on a credit card. I paid for this one in cash, and that's again specifically talking about the mixing fee. I'm thinking a lot about Michigan, my parents, mortality, as in mortality in general, not just theirs, and so on. I'll write more about that tomorrow. R.I.P. Eddie and my poor cousin Carla on her way to the great beyond. How completely and truly fucked up this world is. So that's the journal entry. I guess I'll say a quick word about that, right? Eddie, fucking gone, dead. That's fucked up, man. People die. We all die. Everything dies. Thank you, Type O Negative. Everything die. One of the coolest songs ever. But you don't think about it. You don't think, how many more meals is my dad gonna get to enjoy before he fucking kicks it? How many more times am I gonna get to hug my mom before there's no one left to hug? How many more times am I gonna get to kiss my cats on the head before I'm not here? And and when you're young, when you're a little kid, and so on, really up until, depending on where your thoughts are, there's people who don't like to think about their mortality, which I completely understand. I'm not one of those people. I basically have to think about it. I think about it all the time. I have to think about it. It's not part of my fucking job. Nobody's putting a fucking gun to my head. I don't live in the Soviet Union, and the law of the day is that you have to fucking think about your mortality. That's just where I'm at, right? So I think about it quite a bit. And then you get people who died. Eddie died. On Facebook today, by the time, I don't even want to say that, Jesus, but by the time you watch this, she might already be gone. And she's like my sister's age, man, You think back to when you were little kids, you remember her. I'm trying to come to Michigan next week and come see her, but it's like, her Facebook post said that she's like done with the radiation and she's fucking calling hospice and she's going to do that. So I looked it up. It's usually 6 months or less for hospice. It's so fucked up. And what is that? It's so, you know, somebody dies, you know what people love to say? They'll just say, nothing I say will be sufficient. Nothing I say can possibly help or do anything. They get so like fucking sanctimonious all of a sudden. There's not a single word I can do to change the pain that you must be. It's almost like they think, and maybe this has happened, they almost approach it like, if they say like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, that somebody's gonna be like, fuck you, you don't get to be sorry. Or they're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I had no idea that somebody's gonna, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry for your loss. Yeah, you know what? I hear that from everybody. Everybody's fucking sorry about my loss. And you telling me that doesn't mean anything, so fuck you. People are really prepared. I know this from Facebook posts, right? Because, you know, somebody dies who's close to someone, and the language, the actual fucking, the rhetoric of it is, that's what it is. There's nothing I could say that could possibly, I can't imagine. I can't even, you never knew anybody who that died? You never had a pet who died, or a fucking grandma? Everybody you've ever known who you loved is fucking living. You don't know what it's like? Are you sure? But that, you know, how long am I gonna riff on this for? It's funny to me, okay? I can't possibly understand what you're going through right now. There's nothing I say will be sufficient to encapsulate the pain that you must be enduring right now. So that's funny to me. You know what else I've always thought was funny is when somebody dies, how obsessively, am I really looking fat? Let me get a good look at myself in the mirror. I mean, you can join me for it. I've been working so hard. I think I just have a body image disorder. Let me take a look here. Damn, I'm looking at this little screen and I'm like, my shit's looking all right. Like, I look like I fucking work out. A little bit too much midsection fat, yes. But largely, wow, I see, it's funny with this camera, I'm seeing like, almost looks like fucking cellulite in here, but it's not. It's funny too, because I look in the mirror and I don't see it. Got a little extra fat there and there. Whoa, arms? Looking okay. I work hard, but I don't think it's in my genes to really get too ripped, but a little bit of definition here. It's just this layer of fat that I gotta get rid of. Hey, thank you for joining me on How to Hate Your Body. Well, do I have anything more to say? This is a shitty video. This was a shitty idea that I, instead of just wallowing in my I don't wallow, just so you know. You know, I don't wallow. But instead of just having a nice quiet night and doing some reading, you know what the truth is? I'm used to just working on my record until I can't work on it anymore. Then dressing up in a Teletubby costume and dancing, okay? Which, you know what? It's starting to sound better and better right now. I thought I was gonna have a quiet night in, just do some reading. I feel like I need to go put on the Teletubby costume and dance. And I don't do it like in my living room, I do it in public. Okay, you've seen, and if you know me, you know that's what I do. All right. Hey, you know what? I'm sorry. I thought I was gonna have more to say. You know, I have a little bit more to say. You're like, click, that's it for me. It's interesting. I hate starting sentence with it's interesting. I hate when people do that. Everybody does it, including me, but here's what I was gonna say is like, I'm finishing this album and I'm like, man, finishing an album. This is like, it's so special. It's so exciting. And I meant what I said to myself in my journal, which got shared with you, which was that I really do feel like it's a record of like where I was, where I lived. Like, oh, so that's what I want to do. I wanted to just bring you into the studio. You can, because I'm going to clean it now. I have not cleaned it properly like in a long time. And part of that is because, I just can't do it. I'm working on my shit. I need shit to be a certain way, you know? So here it is. Here's where we are. Here's where the fucking record got recorded at. Let me do this before I switch gears on you. Shut this fucking window for starters. Kind of a fucking mess in here. Let's talk about what got used and what didn't. Do you care? Who gives a shit? Look, there's a bunch of guitars. There's a bunch of fucking hand drums. There's a bunch of fucking amps. I don't know if you can see them this light. There's a bunch of guitar pedals. There's a bunch of gear. There's the fucking rig. The whole thing is a fucking mess. I mean, you know, I legitimately don't think it's that interesting if I start explaining like how I did it or what I do. The only thing that I can share that you might find interesting is like all these amps, right? All these amps, all these pedals, all this possibility of tones, many guitars you can plug in. And when it comes to power chords, right? You know what power chords are? Sure you do. I end up just liking the sound of this Mesa Boogie and its built-in distortion. And I think it's partially because it's a very 90s sound. And it's also, it's the amp that I used for most all, in fact, every single one until I got into jazz. That's the amp I used for the Hourly Continuum. You know, I used it for Space Cake, but I had a Marshall before then, a real shitty Marshall that's still in my dad's basement, I think. But that was my band amp. All my cover band shit, I always played through that. I eventually got an extension for it too. All right, last thoughts about album night being done. Well, this is the light. This is why fucking people like pretty specific lighting. All right, fuck it, I'll stay here. Got that garage reverb going too. Here's what I'll say. I'm finishing the album, right? It's getting mixed and it's gonna get mastered. I'm gonna press a double vinyl. It's crazy. It's crazy that it's gonna be in my hands and done. It's gonna be on Spotify. You're gonna, like, Apple Music. You're gonna get to listen to it. I'm gonna hopefully make these music videos. Pretty fucking daunting, to be honest, but it should happen. I don't know why it wouldn't. And so it's done, and I'm like, wow, 2021, new album. And I'm just thinking back about the other ones. I'm like, Instruments of Pain. And I remember everything so specifically. I remember the process. I remember where I was. I remember like recording the songs. I remember how I felt. And every part of it. What was before that? Dreamland Magic Spells. What an era that was. Fucking wrote that. Instruments of Pain I wrote in New York. I wrote that in 2 different apartments. One on Stockholm Street in Bushwick and one on Sudam Street in Brooklyn. And then Dreamland Magic Spells I wrote in a basement of a house I lived in Macomb Township. And I was drinking during that time. Was not using drugs or drinking during Instruments of Pain. Dreamland Magic Spells, drinking, growing mushrooms, smoking weed, and occasionally getting kind of silly with some other things as well. The one before that, was there that big of a gap? Oh, School. No, there was Teleportation, which isn't technically an album, it's a B-sides album, but I hadn't made so much material in that time that I didn't conceptualize it as an album. That Teleportation counts as an album. It's, you know, every band puts out a fucking B-sides album, and there's some cool shit on there, in my opinion. Don't Lie, one of my favorite things that I've ever made. Don't lie to me, I'm telling you. Boy, what a fuck. Speaking of fucked up, look, I say the song and I immediately remember the era in which I made that song. In fucking Bushwick. Oh my God. In Bay Ridge. Jesus Christ. So anyhow, before then you had School, which was 2012. Wrote that in New York, but I came to Michigan. Is that true? No, it's not. Oh, that is true. I recorded, okay, what am I talking about? There's a video documentary about this Greg DeLiso made called Grump Rules. It's about school. You get to really kind of see the process. But I'm thinking of Love Spectacle. No, there is one for School, and there's me talking about Michigan. And School is kind of a special album to me because that's, you know, it's not about wizards and witches. It's like, that's a very personal album. And they're all personal, you know. This new one is especially personal. But before then you had Love Spectacle, which is like all magical fun and aquarium. Do you remember the aquarium? Have you ever heard the song? This is a funny question to ask someone who's made it 24 minutes into this video. Have you heard the song Aquarium? It's track... I think it's track 6 off of Love Spectacle. Track 6 or 7? Goddamn. One is... I'm not going to go through it right now with you, but I think it's... Anyhow... Go listen to it. It's so fucking funny to hear because it's just like, it's kind of a song about my reptile lizard, Jammy, who I love, but it's also just like fantasy pop bubblegum, but it's like, do you remember when you'd be underwater Do you live under the ocean, girl? Public love under the glass underwater. It's you and me in the aquarium. Which I have to listen to it and see where I'm at. Because, you know, Love Spectacle, every now and then I pop on a song. It's usually like Do You Love Me or Roller Coaster. Photograph, Wonders of the World. I like that My Heart Belongs to You song. There's some nasty shit on there too that just I'm not proud of anymore. But Aquarium is like, I just can't envision writing a song like that. And to be fair, that was 11 years ago, 2010 Love Spectacle. Anyhow, I'm trying to go through this chronology with you. 25 minutes in, I guarantee you turn the video off now. If not, the password is license plate. License plate is the password. Yeah, what do you do on a Friday night? I talk to myself in the garage in hopes that 2 people will watch it and care. All right, so before that was 2010 with Love Spectacle. So here's what happened. Here's why it gets confusing. 2006 was Gypsy Kiss, which technically I didn't release as a Peter Litvin album, although it's out there as one now, because why wouldn't it be? But I was trying to just call myself Gypsy Kiss, which is what came right after Corpse Smoke. From Gypsy Kiss to 2010, though, that's 2006 to 2010, I made a shit ton of material and then later released it all as digital albums. So you got Sing Along, Melodies Fade. That might be it. I think there was another one that was called like Barnacle Wizard, but I think I just slapped it on one of those 2 digitals and put it out. What is there to say? What am I really talking about at this point? Trying to take you back in time and wax poetic about my creative fucking outputs and misgivings and everything else. Can't possibly be interesting, but maybe it is. If anything, if you go listen to Aquarium, I've done good today. Aquarium. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but thanks for celebrating. Thanks for being the only people to celebrate this momentous occasion with me. It's pretty special that I don't have to. I mean, I'll say this: Mixer Man he's gonna be like, you got to send me this track, you got to send me that track. Like, I'm sure a few more things will pop up, but I'm done. Like I'm done having to listen to the songs. Yeah, that's you heard me right. I'm fucking sick of them. I'm so sick of listening to these fucking songs. I'm like well beyond the point where I'm like, is this part good? Is this song really good? Like, I'm just like lost. I'm so fucking lost in the woods. That's a lyric from the album. You're lost in the woods again. Come over, yeah, come over. Here's a little sneak peek of that song.
Seems like you're trying to start